Okay, we're going to call to order the council meeting for August 20th, 2020. Madam Clerk. We'd like to call up for the pledge. Brandon Marshall from Troop 317, he'll be leading us in the pledge today. Come on up, Brandon. We're honored you guys to have our Boy Scout here today with us, going to lead us in the pledge. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Asbill.
Present.
Councilman Buddy.
Present.
Councilman Chatelain.
Present.
Councilman Johnston.
Present.
Councilman Wheeler.
Present.
Mayor Bodier.
Present.
Police Chief Walker.
Here.
Fire Chief St. Cyr.
Present.
Finance Director Todd Tunion.
Present.
City Attorney Scott Stansberry.
Present.
And Municipal Clerk Nicole Lee is present.
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead.
make a motion to amend the agenda to add proposed ordinance 2020-20 and ordinance amending the Harahan Code of Ordinances by the addition of section 74-27 political and non-commercial signs to chapter 74 of signs
Okay, we have a motion
to
on the
first readings.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to add to the agenda ordinance 2020-20. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Move to open a public hearing.
I'm sorry.
Move to open a public hearing.
If anyone would like to speak about adding this ordinance 2020, we're going to put a sign ordinance in place. Anyone like to come speak? No one coming to speak? Make a motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Okay, motion by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
All right, 5 yeas, 0 nays. Do I have a motion we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to add proposed ordinance 2020-20 to the agenda?
Motion.
Second by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is added.
And Mayor,
Agenda's amended.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add under first reading, proposed ordinance 2020-21, an ordinance amending ordinance number 1885, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020 for the city of Harahan, Louisiana.
Okay, do I have a motion to open for public hearing to add ordinance 2020-21 to
Motion.
the agenda? Motion by Councilman Wheeler, second by Councilman
Open
Chatelain.
a public hearing.
Public hearing is now open. All right, no one coming to speak forth. We have a motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by?
Second.
Second by Councilman Asbill. Public hearing is now closed. All right, we have a motion on the floor from Councilman Wheeler to add proposed ordinance 2020-2021.
Second.
I have a second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Agenda is amended. Is that it?
Move to amend the agenda to move up consideration of resolution 2020-7 to right after special presentation number 1.
2020-7. You're just moving it up?
Yes, sir.
I'll say you have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to move up 2020-7 to right after presentations. I would like to open for public hearing. No one coming to speak. Public hearing is now closed. All right, we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to move 2020-7 to right after special presentations.
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Agenda is amended.
Move to add State Senator Kirk Talbot, State Representative John Ale, add to insult to special presentations.
Number 6 and 7.
Sure. That works.
No, we're going to add them to, we're going to move 5.
Okay.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to move on special presentations to number 5 to we're just going to call it number 6, and then we'll call adding number 5, I don't know, political conversation. All right, do I have a motion? We have a motion by Councilman Asbill to add in political updates or a legislative and state senate update, as well as candidates in for number 5. All right, you have to open for public hearing. All right, no one coming to speak forward, so we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to add in.
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Special presentations is amended.
You done?
You done?
Now, I'd like to motion that we move up old business number 1.
Wait, what's that? I'm sorry.
Motion to move up old business number 1, Planning and Zoning Board nomination.
What do you want to move
To
it to?
where?
What was the last one we moved up?
2020-7, we moved right up to, right behind special presentations.
Let's do it after 2020-7, if there's nothing in front of it that's been moved up.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Buddy to move planning and zoning appointments right behind 2020-7. Open for public hearing. No one coming to speak forth. Public hearing is now closed. And we have a motion by Councilman Buddy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Planning and zoning is now moved to right behind 2020-7, second to special presentations.
You ready?
Yep. Madam Clerk?
Special presentations number 1, Brandon Marshall, Eagle Scout Prospect.
Hi, my name is Brandon Marshall. I'm a Boy Scout in Troop 370, and I'm currently working on completing my Eagle Scout rank. I was involved in Cub Scouts since I was a young kid and became a Boy Scout in 2013, where I made my way up the scouting ranks and became a Life Scout, and am now working on my final steps towards becoming an Eagle Scout. Most of my scouting experiences have been in St. Charles Parish, where I was raised. However, in 2015, it was time for my high school career to start. I decided that I would like to attend Archbishop Rummel High School, so my family moved to River Ridge because this would make getting to work and school much easier. Though I was farther away from my scouting troop, I was still active in it. Over time, I had developed a great sense of community in St. Charles Parish, and after moving to River Ridge, I became involved in nearby communities, such as Harahan, where I also developed a sense of community. I see my Eagle project as a way to give back to my community, where I've made many great memories shaping me into who I am today. I began the first stages of my Eagle project this summer working around COVID while trying to be as efficient as possible, as my 18th birthday is September 12th and I recently started college at UNO. My Eagle project idea is to build a take a book, leave a book post, 2 take a book, leave a book posts, one in St. Charles Parish and one here in Harahan at Soniat Playground. I believe that these take a book, leave a book posts will benefit the community because they offer free books of various reading levels to anyone. And books can help people expand their education, inspire creativity, and are generally good exercise for the brain. If I receive approval for my project proposal here tonight, my next steps will be to raise funds to purchase materials, supplies, and other needs, to plan a date to gather troop members, friends, and family to help construct the book houses, do some paperwork, and finish my Eagle project. Thank you for giving me your time to propose my idea, and if there are any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
So,
Go ahead.
Council, tonight you should have gotten a project proposal on your desk here. The idea, like Brandon said, is to make a kind of free little library post at Soniat Playground and put it just across on the walking track, just across from the current Blue Star Memorial post. And he's got his plans here and everything that he needs, and he's going to do it himself. I'm going to help him, give him some support with marking the ground and things like that, make sure he's not hitting any gas lines and stuff under there. So I'd ask for your approval on Resolution 2020-7 if we can read that.
Just a couple of
Brandon, how
questions.
many?
Sure.
Excuse me, Brandon, how many books do you think this will hold? Pretty substantial library you've got here.
Well, I'm not sure about the number of books, but I'm planning on having 2 shelves, and the size of books can vary, but per shelf, it's about like the size of this podium I'm planning. So if however many books could fit here. I don't have an exact number planned.
And you said you would take in donations to help pay for the construction of the library?
Yes, I
So
am.
both book and financial?
Yes.
And do you have that in this packet to where, or do you want to make an announcement on how we can donate to your mini library?
So I guess I can say my address, and if you would like to drop a check off.
Yeah.
So Brandon, I would like to let you know, I would be willing to donate your $300 for your total cost for the construction of your book house.
Sorry, what did you say?
I would be willing to donate your $300
Oh.
for you to start your construction. So just, Mom? Okay.
Thank you.
300.
It was
It's 300.
300 was the
So-
estimated cost.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
For the
it's a start.
construction, but also
I'll
you
do-
need books.
I'll donate
right?
$300.
He'll also need books to stock it and
I
help.
don't have any books,
No.
but
Brandon, give us a phone number.
Yes, my phone number is 504-722-9773.
722-9773?
Yes.
Thank you.
So Brandon, we have one of these on River Road, and I love the idea and the concept, and I'll tell you why, because when I took office, my whole deal was to try to bring community back together. You know, and this is, to me, this is a small step in bringing community together. And that's the philosophy that we're trying to build on, me and the council these days. And so, you know, I really appreciate you even wanting to do it here, and I really want to give you a special thank you from me. And I'll make sure you get my information as well. If anybody else wants to donate, you know, maybe we can, if you don't mind, do another one someplace else if this one comes out good, and maybe we can get another one throughout the city somewhere. I know we only have one, but I think it's an incredible idea, and it's just, you know, we have this saying here that small cities can do big things, and we're working very hard to do really big things here and great things and bring our community together. And this is definitely a step in the right direction, so thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna vote on the resolution?
Okay.
Yep. If there's any other questions?
No, I'm good.
I have a comment.
Sure.
This needs to be attached as an exhibit to the resolution.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you.
In the council meeting. Any council, oh, sorry, that's your job.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to accept Resolution 2020-7 by Councilman Asbill. Can I get a second?
Second.
Have a second by, the council's going to take this one unanimously? Is that
Sure.
okay with you guys?
Let me read it.
No,
Okay.
let her
Go
read
ahead
it.
and
Okay, let's read it.
Yeah, ready for unanimous, fine.
All right, the following resolution was offered, you want to, unanimously by the council. Proposed resolution number 2020-7, a resolution granting permission to a youth to erect a little free library adjacent to the walking track at Soniat Playground for the purposes of completing an Eagle Scout project. Whereas the mayor and council for the city of Harahan encourage civic engagement of all citizens, and whereas it is especially promising when youth are serving their communities, and whereas this project will benefit citizens of all ages of our area by providing a free book exchange resource. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the city of Harahan, Louisiana, acting as governing authority of said city, that Section 1, permission is hereby granted to a youth citizen of the area to plan, erect, and open a little free library post at Soniat Playground adjacent to the walking track. In Section 2, said project shall be in the conformity with the Eagle Scout Service Project proposal attached hereto as Exhibit A. Section 3, the city hereby waives any permitting fees for this project and will facilitate installation to the extent possible.
Okay, we have,
Move to adopt.
okay, so we have a,
Open the public hearing, I guess.
you want to open for public hearing?
Yes, sir.
You want to come back and speak about the little library? Okay, no one comes to speak forth. Public hearing is now closed. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Congratulations and thank you again.
Special presentation number 2, 90th birthday proclamation for Miss Marie Noya.
So it says, whereas Marie D. Noya, born Marie D. Giordano was born August 27th, 1930 in Baltimore, Maryland. And whereas Marie married Joseph J. Noya in Baltimore, Maryland on September 7th, 1950. And whereas Marie and Joseph moved to the city of Harahan in 1980. And whereas Marie and Joseph were blessed with 5 sons, Mark, Kirk, Scott, Keith, and Glenn, who considered their mother the heartbeat of the family. And whereas Marie is a member of St. Rita Church, She enjoys her garden club, gourmet club, and bowling with her league friends on Tuesday mornings and a long leisurely lunch. Now therefore, I, Timothy Bodier, Mayor of the City of Harahan, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim August 27th, 2020, Marie D. Noya Day in honor of her 90th birthday, and ask our citizens and friends to acknowledge and celebrate with her this wonderful milestone in her life, in witness whereof I have hereunder to set my hand and cause the seal of the city to be affixed this 27th day of August in the year of our Lord 2020. Somebody here?
If I could say, I've known Marie Neuer for some 30 years now, and she is an absolutely wonderful person, salt of the earth, good friend, good sense of humor, and just a really kind-hearted, dear neighbor. So I'm happy to be a small part of this ceremony. Sure, love to.
Special presentations number 3. This is a special recognition for Miss Zalia Avant-Garde. And I have on here the 2019 New Orleans Regional Spelling Champion. She's the Kaplan Online Spelling Bee 2019 National Spelling Champion.
So it was brought to our attention by Councilman Chatelain that Zalia Avant-Garde is from Harvey, but I think it's important for us to recognize, people in our community, whether you be Harahan or not, that do something great. And this young lady was the National Spelling Bee champion. And we wanted to make sure, even though she's not from Harahan, she's from the other part of Jefferson Parish that starts with an H, which is Harvey, so it's kind of close. But we wanted to say, congratulations, and we'll be reaching out to you so we can give you the certificate. Councilman Chatelain, since you brought this to my attention, would you like to say something?
I just caught it on the news, and I was kind of impressed, I mean, young girl, National Spelling Bee champion from right here in Jefferson Parish. I thought it was pretty impressive.
If you look her up on YouTube, she's a pretty good ball handler, too.
Basketball, yeah.
Pretty good basketball handler, too.
So we'll deliver that to her house.
Madam Clerk?
Number 4, Postal Wade in Netterville, City of Harahan 2019 Audit Overview.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brandy Smith. I'm the audit partner with Postal Wade in Netterville, and I'm here to report to you on the 2019 audit. I believe you have copies of the audit reports in front of you, and I won't go through and flip through in detail, but I wanted to give you some highlights of some of the financial data that was in the audit. So first thing, we did submit the audit report to the Legislative Auditor's Office by the June 30th deadline, and we want to thank the team for being able to get almost all of the audit work done remotely. Of course, with everything going on this year, normally we're here doing the audit. We have our team out for a couple of weeks. We only came out for a day. Most of the rest of the work was done through electronics, emails, online portals. So we do want to appreciate the team to be able to deal with that, with those circumstances, and be able to get the audit out by the June 30th deadline without having to request an extension. So first thing I wanted to point out is the audit opinion was a clean opinion or an unmodified opinion, which is what you would expect. And just to give you some highlights on the financial statements, a comparison of the financials from 2018 to 2019, your general fund balance increased by $226,000 from the end of 18 to the end of 19, so the general fund had income for the year. Also, overall governmental funds increased by $538,000. So at the end of 2019, the fund balance for the general fund was about $330,000, and for all of your governmental funds, which don't include the sewer fund, the fund balance was $1.5 million. So just to point out, for that fund balance, not all of that money is available for operations. Some of those funds are restricted. So in the general fund, about $100,000 of those funds were unrestricted. And then for your overall governmental funds, about $170,000 overall was unrestricted at the end of the year. For the sewer fund, you had an increase in the fund balance of about $290,000. So fund balance increased from about 2.4 million to 2.7 million. So again, it's good to see that you had income in the sewer fund. And this was the first year in a few years that no money was transferred from the sewer fund to the general fund to balance the general fund's budget. So those are the highlights overall on the financial statements themselves. And when you look at the audit report behind the financial statements, you'll see additional footnote disclosures. So it goes into more detail about the different accounting standards. We did have one additional footnote related to COVID. Since it was an event that happened after the end of 19, we added an additional footnote disclosure just to say that it did occur after year end, that you don't know what the financial impact would be, you know, especially when we issued the report, it was earlier on, so you don't really know what the financial impact would be. But for the readers of the report, it's just to make them aware that there will be an impact in the next year. The next thing I'll report on is the report on internal controls over financial reporting. So in addition to performing your financial statement audit, we also test compliance with certain laws and provisions. And we had one audit finding this year, and that was related to the 2019 budget being approved after the start of the year. So the state law requires that your budget is approved before the beginning of the year. And with the change in administration, the 19 budget was approved after January 1, 2019. So that was the one finding that we had. In 2018, you had 5 findings that were all resolved. So that was an improvement of what you had seen from the prior year. And just to walk through those 18 findings, one was a failure to amend the budget. So if you have 5% more in expenses than what was budgeted, or 5% less revenues than what was budgeted, and you don't amend the budget, then you have an audit finding. So that was a finding you had for 18. It didn't repeat this year. There was also a finding related to the Department of Justice asset forfeiture account. There were certain reporting requirements that had not been performed a couple of years prior, but that reporting had been completed in 2019 on time. The next finding was noncompliance with public bid law. So an asset was purchased last year that did not go through the required public bid law requirements. So we didn't find any instances of that in our testing for 2019. Also last year for the sewer fund, the debt covenants were not met. They were met for 2019. And then there was also a finding related to lost court revenue due to inappropriate staffing, and that another entity in 18 had to collect some of the funds just due to staffing issues here at the city. So we didn't have that repeat finding for 19. The next report that we issued is a statewide agreed upon procedures. So these are additional procedures on top of our audit procedures that the legislative auditor requires for all governmental and certain nonprofit entities that collect public funds. So this is additional testing that we have to perform. And there were some exceptions in that testing, but it's not unusual to see that a lot of this testing is related to written policies and procedures and different internal controls. So none of the exceptions that we found we consider to be material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. So in that report, you'll see the list of the procedures and the exceptions and managers' responses, and that report also gets submitted to the legislative auditor's office. And then the last thing that I had to report, there are certain required communications that we have to make to you as the governing board, and I'll just walk through those real quick. A couple of them I mentioned before, but your significant accounting policies are in footnote 1 to your big audit report, and there were no changes to the accounting policies in 2019. As part of our audit, we look at significant estimates to make sure that they're reasonable. So an example of a significant estimate is your pension liability. That's an estimate that an actuary determines. So as part of the audit, we look at the estimate determined by the actuary. We had no difficulties encountered during the audit. If we did, we would be required to report that to you. We didn't have any disagreements with management. We had 2 small adjustments that were deemed to be immaterial that were not recorded. And then at the end of the audit, we obtained a representation letter, so management really attests to, they provided all of the information that we requested, that the numbers are, that they provided to us are correct. And so we get that at the end of the audit, that management signs off that they provided us what we needed to complete the audit. So do you have any questions? Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I add, Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
If I can add just
Yes, sir.
one item, just to thank Brandy and her team from Postal
sir.
Wait Netterville on the work that they did.
Absolutely.
We work with a number of different clients. I know their firm works with a number of different clients. We were all impacted by COVID personally, professionally, and I think it says a lot for their commitment that the audit report was issued in a timely manner this year. So we thank them for their help in making sure that that happens for the city.
I just want to say something, just a point of personal privilege, and I want to just make the point of, this is your team up here. This team is the team that I have been so blessed with to run this city, and I have an audit, like the one that was just read, is probably the first that I've even heard of in my entire 10 years as council and mayor, and I am so proud of this group, and we work so hard for you guys, and we are so wise with every penny that you guys have and every penny you contribute. We are so wise with your tax dollars. We work so hard, and I'm gonna bring up a couple of gentlemen in a little while to show y'all what real teamwork looks like. And we have our state senator and our state representative here today, and that is just unbelievable to have these two gentlemen come to our council meetings. And I've asked them to be at every council meeting, but this is what we can do. This is what we can do when we all work together and we all work with all our might. And I'm just so very proud. I'm sorry I'm a little choked up by it, just because I'm so proud of this group and how hard we worked and to see it finally pay dividend. I mean, we take some criticism here and there, but to all of the critics, what I gotta say to you is, so.
All right, number 5, we have Senator Talbot.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, members of the council. Thanks for having us. And I just wanted to touch on, I think Representative Ill was going to talk about the census, and I was going to kind of touch on the Main Street Recovery Program. That's the program that our state treasurer is implementing, and it's a $15,000 grant, not a loan, so which is a huge difference. Grant basically means you don't have to pay it back. So it's for small businesses. I think it's employees. You have employees less than 50, and there may be a certain income threshold as well. But it's, you know, when you go on the website and you look at it, you think, you know, it's a lot of things to download. This is going to be a pain in the butt. I promise you, it's worth it. And it's you know, I know they have veterans and minorities have gotten in on the front end. That part is passed now, so anybody can apply. If you've gotten PPP money, you are eligible. So, you know, there was a lot of misconception about that. I just urge you to please do this if you're a business and you're hurting like my business is, and a lot of other people, maybe I know your business is hurting as well. We all are. So I would urge you to do this. If you have a problem with it, you can reach out to the treasurer's office. Just Google John Schroeder, State Treasurer, or you can call me at 736-7299, and we can direct you to the right person. But, you know, at first when we did this program, we thought that there'd be like a gold rush and this thing would run out of money. This thing's not even close to running out of money. So don't have the misconception that, you know, I waited too late, there's not going to be enough money for me. They might be money left over for this. So it is definitely worth it. Please do it. Representative Ilg and I are working on possibly doing a town hall meeting. We're going to try to do one in Kenner and do one in Harahan as well, kind of like a workshop where people can come and we can have members of the treasurer's staff there to help assist. But it's not as bad as you think. You do have to download a lot of documents, but I urge you to do it, and I'd happy to answer any questions if you have any.
I know when we had the Zoom call with Secretary Schroeder, the only thing that I can say, when you do download, get your documents prepared, glance through it, look at all the documentation, get all your scans, drop them on your desktop in a PDF, and just be ready. But I mean, it's some questions though. This ain't, you know,
Right.
you got to answer some questions. But when you got those PDF scans ready to go, it's just smooth. It probably takes, I'd say, if you're organized, less than an hour maybe, and you can roll right through. But it is
Right.
so well worth it.
$15,000 an hour
Yes,
is a
sir.
good deal.
Yes, sir. You got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
members.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Representative Ilg.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council. Thanks for having us today. I've spent a lot of time with you guys over the past couple of months. I want to applaud Brian Wallace also. Brian has been a big part of getting CARES Act money to this city. The mayor and the council has been big on getting the Louisiana economic development here. We were the first city they came to through this to come see Harahan and see what they can do for Harahan. What I'm here today is to talk about the census. We have in this state, we are lagging behind in Louisiana. We're right at 64% in Jefferson Parish. We're a little less than that in the state. We're in the 50s in the state. We trail behind neighboring states. The census is done every 10 years. And if we don't keep our numbers up, we could possibly lose a congressional seat, and we will lose funding for projects like roads and bridges, schools. There's almost $700 billion doled out throughout the country every year, so it's important. I want to applaud the city of Harahan because we're in the 80s. Harahan leads in my district. District 78 is up there statewide. I'm proud of that. The fact is, Harahan's in the 80s, River Ridge is in the low 70s, and the rest of Metairie is close behind. It's still not enough. We almost had 80% self-report 10 years ago. We need to get people, if you haven't filled out the census, it's not very hard. Go to 2020census.gov, get it in the mail, call my office at 736-7030, and we'll help you out. But we need to get it in. The census takes about 5 minutes to do, and it's extremely important. Going back to the CARES funding in this city, these guys have almost gotten $1 million for the city through the first 2 tranches of CARES funding, which is huge for this city, keeping this city going. You guys have done a great job. You guys are easy to work with, and I appreciate you guys coming to me, and we're getting it done. We can get things done in this state, in this city, and in District 78.
Yes, sir.
Fill out the census, please. It's important to this state. It's important because we're going to redistrict. We don't want to lose a district seat out of Jefferson Parish to a neighboring parish. That could happen. It's happened in the past. The bigger New Orleans gets right now, they could pull away from us. We could easily, we've got a couple of districts that cross over parish lines. We could lose an entire district which loses representation for Jefferson Parish. It's extremely important. Please continue to push it through the month of September. We will continue to do the same thing, but I appreciate you guys' help on that. And if anybody has any questions about the census, please call my office. Again, 736-7030.
John, what is that website that folks can?
2020census.gov.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Representative, just real fast, and I know we have driven you and Senator Talbot crazy. So thank you so much for putting up with us. I mean, I know we, and you've just been a friend. The both of y'all have been a friend through this. I mean, we've submitted over somewhere around 1,200 pages so far. To get CARES Act, we've tried to, make sure every T was crossed and every I was dotted, and we couldn't have done that without Senator Talbot and State Representative Bill.
That's John Hill, by the way.
That's right. Thank you so much. Thank the both of y'all very much.
Thank
I
you,
just want to
guys.
let the citizens know, every one of us up here, and I could speak for myself, if I call Representative Ilg on his cell phone, he answers the phone. If I call Senator Talbot on his cell phone, he answers his phone. They've never not answered the phone. That's a good relationship to have. And I think they help us out a lot. We appreciate it.
Thank
He
you.
was actually walking the ditches with me the other day. He went on one way, now we went to go find all of the poisoning and find out who's doing it to make sure the poisoning doesn't happen anymore. I mean, that's the kind of on-hands representative that he is.
No,
So-
and the fact of the position that Kirk and I have, we go straight to the top. So when you guys call us, we don't deal with the middlemen that you may have as a citizen. If you have a problem in your area, please call us, because we've
Yes,
helped
sir.
a lot of people, and there's a lot of people say, oh, no, you can't do anything. We can do a lot.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you guys having us here tonight. I know there's a couple of candidates that wish to speak, and Jason and Pat Rooney, and I'd be happy. I know you guys have more on your plate. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, yes, sir. Okay, we're gonna call it Pat Rooney.
No,
No, Pat Rooney.
you let them come up. The candidates come up.
All right, Pat Rooney, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Thank you for allowing me to speak to y'all. My name's Pat Rooney. I'm running for 24th Judicial District Court, Division B. Just a little bit about myself. I went to Jesuit High School. I graduated from undergrad at LSU and law school at LSU. I've been married for 29 years to Marianne. I have 2 great kids. I work I'm a law partner in Southern Legal Clinics. We have 7 offices around Southeast Louisiana. I've handled thousands of criminal and civil cases. This district court is exactly what I've handled. It's felonies, it's family law, it's succession law, it's contracts. Everyday people come through that, and I've handled these cases, and I'm very happy that I can offer my experience to the bench. But also, I heard a lot about community service, and I'm very proud of that. I've coached in the playgrounds for 16 years, and if you've coached, you know that could be a little difficult. But I miss it. My kids are grown, and I want my kids to stay here. I want my kids to stay here in Jefferson Parish, and I feel that me being on the bench, I can offer my expertise and help somewhere. Also, I'm very proud of the fact that I'm a Dawn Buster Kiwanis. I'm actively involved in Reward for Reading. I do all the risk management. I always joke around because they wanted free legal help, but you know, it's something I really want to give back to community. I'm a Knights of Columbus Marquette Council. But I can tell you one thing is that if I am lucky enough to get on that bench, I will be fair and I'll be prepared. There's too many times judges get on the bench and they think it's a retirement. It's not a retirement. We are working for the people, and we're working to be fair and prepared. And I know your time is precious, and that's another thing I will do. I will strive to add technology to my courtroom to save y'all time. So please consider voting for me, Pat Rooney, 24th Judicial District Court, Division B. Thank you for allowing me to talk.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Constable Jason Earl. Not only is he Constable Earl candidate, but he is also our constable.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, staff, chiefs. Thank you for having me here tonight. I appreciate it. And I am your constable. I'm your constable for Harahan. I also cover Kenner, River Ridge, and a portion of Metairie. I was unanimously voted by the Jefferson Parish Council on July 9th to fill a vacated position from Constable Joe Bourgeois, who did an excellent job for 25 years, and unanimously approved by the Jefferson Parish Council. I'm doing the job now. I'm enjoying every minute of it, working very closely with Judge Kevin Santani and our fine staff in the Clerk of Court's office, and just excited to be here. You know, excited that we're going out and we're meeting a lot of people, not only in Harahan, but in Kenner, all over the district, and we're going to continue to do that. You know, not just because it's campaign time, it's just because it's my job. It's my job to represent everyone of the district, and I'm going to do that and try to meet as many people as I can. So any questions from anybody while you have me?
Yep.
My name is Jason Ural. Yes, ma'am.
Jason.
U-R-A-L.
Jason, thanks for coming tonight. Can you explain a little bit about what a constable does? 'Cause
Yes.
A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very, very common question. So what a constable does is I work within the Jefferson Parish Justice Court. The Jefferson Parish has 8 justice courts throughout the parish. My district, as I stated earlier, covers Kenner, Harahan, River Ridge, and a portion of Metairie. If there's any civil cases that are filed under $5,000, as well as evictions or any garnishment cases, they can be filed with our clerk of court at our court. The clerk of court gathers the information, compiles it, presents it to the judge, who is Judge Kevin Santani. He then compiles the information and holds trials. When he renders a verdict, passes a judgment, it is then my responsibility to deliver those or serve those verdicts to the people involved in the cases.
So you know what, so I've got to meet Constable Ural and over the past couple of weeks, and we talk a lot. And I got to tell you, what I love about Constable Ural is that his excitement to do the job, his ability to do the job, and just wanting to do the job, wanting to be a public official, because I know, despite what you guys may think, we don't make very much doing this.
No.
You got to have a true passion and love for this. And every time I'm with him, he makes me smile, and he makes me honestly happy. He makes me feel good about what I'm doing, because some days this job's pretty rough, you know, but he makes me really feel good. Wow, you know, you make me understand why I am an elected official and why I do want to reach out. And I want to thank you for that. I mean, you're just awesome to be around. You're just a really good human being. And if I'm going to lose my house for some odd reason, I'm hoping it's you at the door taking it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It never comes to that, but I promise you I will deal with it delicately. I promise. All right.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Good luck.
Any other questions for anybody? All right. Thank y'all so much for having me. Looking forward to working with all of y'all.
Thank you. And just a point of personal privilege, we have our mic open for any candidate who wants to come talk. These candidates on hand selected, they just took the time to come and join our city. A lot of government entities don't do that. We actually do it. We actually welcome it. So if you're a candidate running for office and you want to come speak before the city of Harahan, you are more than welcome.
Chief Walker, current state of the Harahan Police Department.
Mayor, council, viewing public, Tim Walker, Harahan Police Chief. I have Sergeant Mitchell with me tonight, making a presentation which I'm very proud to make. On June 28th, 2020, Harahan police officers observed a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed on Hickory Avenue. Upon stopping the vehicle, officers observed a male passenger inside the vehicle was bleeding heavily from his wrist and observed a large amount of blood throughout the vehicle. The occupant advised officers that the victim was disassembling a metal appliance for scrapping when sheet metal sliced into his wrist. The subject attempted to stop the bleed themselves, but were unable to do so and were attempting to drive to the hospital for help. Realizing this life-threatening nature of the injury, the officers requested EMS over the police radio and advised the dispatcher of the nature of the injury. Sergeant David Mitchell, a certified emergency medical responder, who was formerly an EMT, but now has emergency medical responder training, heard the nature of the injury over the radio and responded to the scene. Upon arrival, Sergeant Mitchell observed the victim had a lacerated artery to his wrist and was going in and out of consciousness due to loss of large amount of blood. Utilizing a compression bandage and a pressure point control, Sergeant Mitchell was able to stop the arterial bleeding and stabilize the wound. The EMS responded to the scene a short time later and transported the victim to the hospital where he underwent surgery for his injuries. The actions of Sergeant Mitchell played a vital role in saving this victim's life. Harahan, the police department, hereby recognizes the exemplary actions of Sergeant David Mitchell and presents him with the Harahan Police Department Life-Saving Award. Sergeant Mitchell's been with us about 10 years, and this is, I know, at least the second, if not third time that he has saved somebody's life in this city from his medical background, being a former EMT and now emergency medical responder. So I'm very, very happy to give you this award. Thank you for your dedication. Yeah.
Okay, old business, Planning and Zoning Board nomination and appointment, and Mr. Dennis Hoffman.
I'd like to make a comment. I've known Dennis for about 12 years. He's a construction professional, dedicated individual, determined. He's easy to work with, listens well, treats people with respect, and he's eager to serve our community. I think he'll be a fine addition to the Harahan Planning and Zoning Board. If anybody has any questions, Dennis is here. Dennis, would you stand up, please? Thank you.
How long have you lived in Harahan?
A little over 2 years.
2 years. A little over 2 years.
That's it?
I just want to know. I like new, fresh people here. I like fresh people here. You want something new? We got something new.
Yeah, I'd like the motion that we accept his nomination.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Buddy, second by Councilman Asbill, to accept the nomination of.
We have to open a public.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're open for public hearing. All right, no one coming to speak forth in a closed public hearing. Mr. Tom?
Who seconds that? Asbill?
Asbill.
All right.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. I didn't get his name, Mr. Tom.
It's Dennis Hoffman. It's on your
Dennis Hoffman.
agenda. Under old business, Mayor.
Got it.
He's mixed up. We moved it around.
Yeah, y'all
Yeah,
went
we moved
crazy
it
with all
around.
of these
He
amendments.
can't find it on the next page.
Trying to trip me up on purpose.
Thank you, Dennis. We
Yeah.
appreciate
Thank
your
you.
service.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for your
Yeah,
service.
we excited to have somebody new,
Very cool.
new ideas.
All right.
We got it.
Now we're going back to regular order now.
I'll get it.
Okay, approval of minutes. Reading of the minutes of the virtual council meeting on July 23rd.
Okay, the public hearing is now open. No one coming to speak forth. Public hearing is now closed.
Motion to dispense?
All right.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Asbill to dispense with the reading of the minutes. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Ap-
Minutes dispensed.
Approval of the minutes of the virtual council meeting on July 23rd.
Okay, public hearing is now open. All right, no one come to speak forth. Public hearing is now closed. Have a motion to approve those amendments.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Wheeler, second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Minutes are approved.
Reading of the minutes of the special meeting budget hearing on August 10th.
Okay, public hearing is now open. All right, no one coming to speak forth. Public hearing is now closed. Do I have a motion to dispense with the
Motion.
reading of minutes? Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by
Second.
Second by Councilman Buddy, all in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Dispense with the reading of the minutes.
And approval of the
Yay.
minutes of the special meeting budget hearing on August 10th.
Okay, public hearing is now open. No one coming to speak forth. Do I have a motion for the approval of the minutes of the special hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Asbill, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Minutes are approved. Communications?
All right, no communications and resolutions. Proposed resolution number 2020-6. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council. This is a resolution to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement between the City of Harahan and Parish of Jefferson for the fiscal years 2020 to 2023 to undertake essential community development and housing assistance within the City of Harahan jurisdiction. Whereas it is the intent of the officials of the City of Harahan to be included in the Urban County Community Development Block Grant Program. And as a member of the Jefferson Parish Consortium for the Home Investment Partnership Program for the fiscal years 2020 to 2023. Whereas it is necessary to opt in order to be included with Jefferson Parish to receive funds from the Community Development Block Grant Program and the Home Investment Partnership Program. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Harahan, acting as a governing authority of said city, that the mayor of the City of Harahan is hereby authorized to execute any documents and to take any action necessary for the City of Harahan to be included with Jefferson Parish in the application.
Okay, public hearing is now open. If anyone wants to discuss proposed resolution 2020-6. No one coming to speak forth. Public hearing is now closed. Any council discussion?
No discussion?
No
All
discussion.
right, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion?
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by?
Second.
Second by Councilman Chatelain, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. 2020-6 is approved. Madam Clerk?
All right. Now we're moving on to ordinances for approval. Proposed ordinance number 2020-9. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Wheeler and seconded by Councilman
I'll take it.
Johnston.
Who took it?
Johnston.
Johnson.
This is an ordinance amending ordinance number 1885, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020 for the Capital Project Fund of the City of Harahan, Louisiana, and this is for the sewage department. Its sewer improvement to lift stations decreased by $93,832.
Okay, public hearing is now open for, I'm sorry?
That should read increase, not decrease.
It says, it
Okay.
reads decrease.
All right, so,
We'll fix after.
all right,
After.
open it to public hearing first.
Okay, public hearing is now open. Anyone come on to speak forth on ordinance 2020-9? All right, no one come to speak forward. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion.
So Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend on line 18 where it says decreased, should say increased.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to amend.
Wheeler?
Wheeler.
I mean,
Councilman Wheeler.
Councilman Wheeler's.
Slow down.
To propose ordinance 2020-9. You're going to amend one more time
Line 18,
to say
from
increase.
decreased, it should read increased.
Okay, so we have to open for
Public
public hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyone come to speak forth about the amendment of 2020-9 from
Ms. Judy, do you have a
decrease to
question?
increase?
Nope.
You have to increase it on the budget to show that it's,
We're increasing this line to reflect the 93,832. Todd, correct, Todd?
Is that
Okay.
right?
Correct.
Okay,
Finance
so-
Director? Thank you.
Yes.
All right, so public hearing is now closed. All right, council discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion? All right.
Quick, this is, just to clarify, this is for the bypass pump that was already purchased months ago,
Okay,
right?
got it?
Well,
Okay,
Right?
we gotta approve the amendment first.
got it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so,
I'll second the
all
amendment.
right, so a motion by Councilman Wheeler, second by Councilman Johnson, all in favor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays, amendment is approved. Now
Okay.
proposed ordinance 2020-9.
Move to adopt as amended.
Okay, do you open a public hearing?
We already did that.
All
No,
right,
we,
so,
no, we did public hearing for the amendment. We now need to open it up after it's amended.
okay, so anyone want to come speak forth on proposed ordinance 2020-9? Anyone come speaking forth, close public hearing? Okay, council discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion.
No discussion, all right, so then we have all right, so do we have a motion to approve 2020-9?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Buddy, second by?
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnson, all in favor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays, thank you, guys.
Proposed ordinance number 2020-10. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Wheeler and seconded by Councilman.
So Mayor, so I am making a motion to withdraw this ordinance.
I think you still have to let it
Oh,
open
I'm
up
sorry.
for public hearing.
Okay.
before you do
Who would
that.
like to second this ordinance?
So we're gonna open for public hearing,
Well, unless it dies. we'll do a
proposed
second.
ordinance 2020-10. Anyone want to come speak forth on proposed ordinance
Doesn't
2020-10?
somebody have to second it first?
Stand
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Well, no one come and speak forth on it anyway, so
There's
you
no
want to let it
second.
die for no second? All
That's
right,
fine.
all right. So to proposed ordinance 2020-10 will die without a second.
I'm going to ask for a point of personal privilege here. I just want to point out a couple of things from that budget that are not going to get any better with the next rendition of the budget. There are several departments that are quite over budget, and I think by the next budget hearing, we need to have a statement for the public from the police chief, from the fire chief, from the mayor, all the department heads, about how they're going to fix this budget for the remainder of the year. And I just hope that they come with that, with a plan to fix that. Thank you.
Proposed ordinance number 2020-11. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain and seconded by Councilman
I'll second it.
Wheeler. This is an ordinance to amend resolution number 2018-584, approving the pay increase to the Harahan Municipal Police and Fire Civil Service Board Secretary. And it's going from $400 to $600.
Okay, can we open,
Motion to open public hearing.
have a motion by Councilman Wheeler, second by Councilman Asbill to open for public hearing. Anyone that wants to discuss 2020-11? Okay, no one come to speak forward. We're gonna close public hearing. Okay, council discussion?
I just think during this time that we're in right now, it's kind of hard to okay a pay increase, so I'm gonna be voting against it.
Okay.
I think the workload has increased dramatically for that position this year, but I think this is a permanent fix for a temporary problem. And I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but I'm not sold on it yet. So if we could defer it and give me an opportunity to talk to the sponsor and
Well, I could talk publicly.
please do.
I was asked to put this ordinance up by some board members, not council members, board members from the Civil Service Board. I'd put up an ordinance for anything that someone would ask me to put up. I'm not in favor of it either. But if someone asks me to put it up, I'm gonna bring it up so we can bring it in front of the people and let the council decide on what they want to do. I'm not in favor of deferring it. I'm in favor of voting on it tonight. And I agree with Mr. Buddy, exactly what he said. This is a permanent fix for a temporary issue. I believe the secretary has probably worked very hard.
First couple months, yeah.
I believe we're gonna get a little easier. So, yeah, I'd love for this to go to a vote tonight. It was asked to be put on here, and I'll put up any ordinance somebody asks me. If y'all have something y'all need me to put up, I'll put it up. We'll discuss it, and we'll sit up here and vote for it, against it, as long as, and we'll see where everybody stands. So I'm in favor of voting on this tonight. I'd rather it not be deferred, and we can move forward.
Mayor, I call for the vote.
Okay, so we have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by
Second.
Councilman Wheeler, all in favor?
Yay.
Oh, I'm sorry, what? I thought we opened for public
We
hearing.
did.
We did.
We did, that was council discussion.
Okay, all right. All in favor? All opposed?
Yay.
Nay.
5 nays, 0 yeas. Ordinance fails. Ordinance does not pass. Okay?
Proposed ordinance number 2020-12. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Wheeler and seconded by Councilman
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Johnston. An ordinance approving the rezoning of Lot 1B, Square A, Riverside Park subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, made by Gilbert, Kelly, and Couture, Incorporated, dated February 26, 2020.
Okay, is the motion open for public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Wheeler, second by?
Second.
Councilman Buddy, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now open. Anyone come to speak forth on 2020-12, approving a rezoning of,
Okay, Judy Johnson.
Ms. Judy?
Could you tell me where this property is located?
Is this Normandy?
Yeah, it's at the corner of Normandy and Jefferson Highway.
Okay,
I
why
guess-
can't we put the addresses in the ads
Was
so
it-
we'll know where they are? Nobody knows where the
I don't
subdivision
believe,
is.
I don't believe they have an
It's
address yet.
vacant land right now. There are no municipals established yet.
It could be the corner of Normandy and Jefferson Highway then.
It's not.
It's not
actually-
the
It's
corner.
not on the
Actually,
corner.
lot that's behind the corner. The corner of Normandy and Jefferson Highway, and then right next
I
to it's.
think y'all have this backwards. I don't think it's been subdivided yet, correct?
It's 1B Square A, Riverside Park subdivision.
But this is not what goes in the paper, is what I'm saying. So people don't know where this is.
We don't publish everything in the paper, it would cost,
We know.
yeah, it would cost us, nobody does. So, you know,
Thank you, Mr. Buddy.
you're welcome, ma'am.
And what are we rezoning it from and to?
C1.
From
C1
C1
to
to
R2A.
R2A.
And this is the property that's behind the stuff that's on the highway.
Correct.
So we're going into an
I'm
R1
gonna
neighborhood.
give it to you. If you're coming down Jefferson Highway, coming into Harahan, you
Right.
take a right on Normandy.
Right, I know what you're talking
The second
about.
piece of property on your left, not the empty property on the right, because there's an empty piece on the right.
No, I know.
It's the second one on the left.
To answer your question, we're not going into R1. It is currently C1.
Correct.
Going to R2.
Going R2.
So that they have not, but the next ordinance is to divide the two lots.
That's right.
Correct.
So you're actually rezoning a lot that doesn't exist right now. You should have done the re-subdivision first.
It is out of order.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, so please, put where it is in the paper so people can find out what it is.
Ms. Judy, it's in the paper as 1B Square A, Riverside Park.
I understand that. Do you know where Riverside Park is? Nobody else does.
But that's all there is. There is no address.
Do you want us to say that it's?
The corner of Jefferson
but this
Highway
isn't
and
the- But
Normandy.
it's not the corner of Jefferson Highway, Normandy. It's the lot that's
It's
behind the
198
corner.
feet off the corner.
But if people could see where it is, they could at least call and say, okay, which lot is it? This way, nobody knows where it
This is
is.
how real estate sales are reported in the newspaper all the time. If this was property were sold,
It would reflect.
it would
exactly
reflect it
this.
on the bill of sale, the act of sale, exactly as is. This is a real estate transaction. This is the legal description.
We're putting more restrictions on the property than what it has now.
Fine. I'm just saying that people don't have any information.
Thank you.
So, point of order, I move to take up 2020-13 first and then rezone to 2020.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Councilman
Second.
Asbill, second by Councilman Buddy to take up ordinance 2020-13 first. I'm going to open for public hearing. All right, no one comes to speak forth. We're going to close public hearing. All in favor?
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. We're going to move 2020-13 above 2020-12.
This was approved
Unanimously.
unanimously by planning and zoning.
Okay.
Okay. Recommended, yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Wheeler, second by
Second.
Second.
Councilman Chatterling to approve ordinance 2020-13.
Excuse me, do we have to open this up?
We have
I
to.
did open for
He
public
did
hearing.
open for
Oh, I'm
public
sorry.
hearing.
Time out. We opened it to move it.
Oh, okay, so all right, so,
Oh,
all
I see, okay.
right, so do I have a motion on the floor to open for public hearing?
Let me read it
Okay,
real quick. Wait. Proposed ordinance number 2020-13. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Buddy and seconded by Councilman
it.
Johnston. An ordinance approving the re-subdivision of Lot 1B, Square A, Riverside Park subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, made by Gilbert, Kelly, and Couture, Incorporated, dated February 26, 2020.
Okay, have a motion open for public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Wheeler,
Second.
second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now open. All right, no one come to speak forth. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion.
All right, no discussion. Do I have a
Motion.
to approve? We have a motion by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Asbill to approve 2020-13. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Okay, the re-subdivision has been approved. Now we'll go back to ordinance
Rezoning.
2020-12 for the re-subdivision.
Rezoning.
Rezoning.
I'm sorry, rezoning. Do you have a motion by Councilman Wheeler, second by
Second.
Second by Councilman Chatelain, to rezone 2020-12 to C1 from C1 to R2A. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. It has now been rezoned and subdivided. Thank you.
All right. And proposed ordinance number 2020-14. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill and seconded by Councilman
I'll second.
Buddy. An ordinance approving the re-subdivision of 15 Colonial Club Drive, Lot 30B, Block 2, Colonial Club Estates subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, made by Gilbert, Kelly, and Katori Incorporated, dated June 19th, 2020.
Okay, do I have a motion to open for public hearing?
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now open. No one come to speak forth. Do I have a motion to close public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now closed. All right, council discussion. on
I
ordinance.
have
Yeah.
a question, and someone may know the answer. I haven't driven by lately. Has the house in 30B1 been demolished?
That's what I was curious about.
Yes,
It
thank
has been
you.
demolished? Okay.
Thank you.
The little sheds there, but that's coming down
Yeah,
too.
yeah. No, I'm just worried about the house because it was right on, it was right on the split.
There's a carport and a shed.
Yeah, the house was right on the split.
The house is gone.
No, the house is gone.
Okay.
The new house is
Carport.
already up.
New house is already up.
The
Gotcha.
new house is up.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Councilman Wheeler just pointed out to me,
The survey that's attached to this ordinance was dated
Yeah.
back in 2019. But the ordinance references a survey back in June of 2020.
in fact, yeah, because I remember Mr. Buddy had asked, or somebody had asked for a new survey
Probably
Through-
showing that the house
through
isn't there.
email, yeah. But we don't have the new survey attached.
Do you want to defer?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the only one that I got from regulatory.
We can get with regulatory. I'm sure they have a copy of the new plans because the new house is already built
Approved
on the front.
on receipt. Because it doesn't really matter if the house is still there.
Right.
Can I say that I provided the survey to
Ma'am, would you like to come up and speak? Should we go on with that one?
In fact, we have a few surveys, but yes, the latest
Ma'am,
survey,
your name?
Linda Champagne. The latest survey was provided to
The house
Harahan.
is gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
The new house is built.
Hoping to move in next week.
Hopefully.
And who built the house for you? Who built the house?
Brett Champagne Homes,
Awesome.
And the new house is built on which lot?
Colonial Club.
What,
It
so
would
the,
be
fir-
30
the-
B.
so the B1, okay.
It's on Colonial.
30B1, yeah.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we approve this contingent upon making sure that we receive the other survey.
Yep.
Okay.
Right?
Second.
And attaching the correct
And
survey.
attaching it, yes, the correct survey to the approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion approving 2020-14 contingent that we have the new survey for record, second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. All right.
Thank you.
Ordinance has
Thank
been
you.
approved. Thank you very much for building in our city.
Appreciate you
awesome.
bringing up property value.
And we are, we're very user-friendly here, so if you more to try to,
I've been living here for like 30 years, so I know. I'm so
We
proud of
can't
you
control the levy
guys.
board from stopping you. We can't control it.
yeah. That levy boy.
Yes, yes.
6 month delay.
It was a nightmare,
Oh, yeah.
but
Well,
anyway.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, congratulations.
All right. Ordinances for introduction. Proposed ordinance number 2020-15. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman
Buddy.
Mr.
Buddy.
Buddy. An ordinance,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
an ordinance declaring surplus certain vehicle parts owned by the city of Harahan. Proposed ordinance number 2020-16. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain. An ordinance amending the Harahan Code of Ordinances by the addition of Article 4, Electronic Enforcement, to Chapter 50, Motor Vehicles. Proposed ordinance number 2020-17. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Johnston. An ordinance amending the Harahan Code of Ordinances by the addition of Article 5, Golf Carts, to Chapter 50, Motor Vehicles and Traffic. Proposed ordinance number 2020-18. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. An ordinance amending the City of Harahan Code of Ordinances by the addition of Sections 86 to 64.1 and 86 to 64.2 to Chapter 86 subdivisions to adopt and set impact fees for developments within the City of Harahan to provide for improvement of public capital facilities required to serve the development. Proposed ordinance number 2020-19. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. An ordinance amending the City of Harahan Code of Ordinances, Section 70-1, relative to police officer detail pay rates. Proposed ordinance number 2020-20. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. An ordinance amending the Harahan Code of Ordinances by the addition of Section 74-27, political and non-commercial message signs, to Chapter 74, signs. Proposed ordinance number 2020-21. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Wheeler. An ordinance amending ordinance number 1885, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020, for the City of Harahan, Louisiana. And we already had old business and new business number 1. Finance Director Todd Tunion, monthly financials with budget to actual comparisons.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Here tonight, just to provide an update on the financial status of the city. So we've closed the books through July 31st for each of the funds of the city. We've updated the projections through December 31st and have a proposed budget amendments as was just read, I think, in 2020-20 or 21. So we have that information ready and available. We do continue to project a surplus for the 2020 year, a slight surplus. There are some departments, as was mentioned earlier tonight, that are over budget for the 2020 year. The estimates that and the proposed budget do include some hard numbers that are easy for us to estimate, such as the franchise fee revenue. We've touched base with Entergy and Cox and AT&T and those folks, and they've assured the city that COVID should not have an impact on those revenues. Some of the costs, such as payroll and the retirement costs, are fairly well known and easy to project. But there are some costs, such as sales tax, such as video poker, or revenues, such as sales tax revenue, video poker, court fines, which are more difficult for us to estimate. So we have estimates within our projection, but particularly with the impact of COVID, those numbers are subject to change. So that's kind of where we are through July 31st. The last thing I did want to mention is Postal Wait in Netterville mentioned that they had some recommendations and some exceptions in the scope of the testing, specifically related to policies. And so we have drafts of those policies, and we'll be providing those to the mayor and to the council for I guess for first reading at the next council meeting. So we'll work on remedying those items in the current year. So that's a brief update from the finance team. Open to any questions from the mayor or the council.
Thank you for working so hard. We've all worked really hard, but you guys have really
Thank you.
put the time in. and busted
Todd,
your butts.
I
Thank you.
want to second that. You guys have done a good job, a great job this year, getting us to a more timely and a more accurate financial picture. And I know it took a lot of work from you and Dennis Font, Kerry, also. I would like to challenge you guys going forward. If I'm correct, governmental best practices would suggest we should have a probably monthly, but quarterly might be acceptable, reporting on our proprietary funds, which would be our sewer fund, balance sheet income statement, and also on uncommitted, undedicated cash balances. So in the coming year, if you guys could pull that off with the great job you're doing with our financials, that would be a huge improvement. But thanks again for all your hard work.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Body. Certainly, just to answer on the sewer information, that information's available. So we can make that a more regular part of our presentation and comments.
Great, thank you.
All right, new business number 2, Civil Service Board reappointments for Chairman Ms. Barbara Windhorst, Dr. Glenn Landry, and Mr. Gerald Brady.
Okay, public hearing is now open. Okay, no one come to speak forth about the appointments. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
No discussion.
I just want to clarify that when we deferred this last month, we just wanted to make sure that they still wanted the job for the most part. It's become a tough job for them to do, and they've all agreed to stay in their current posts, and we hope that they can continue to do a great job for us, for our police officers and firefighters.
Okay, all in favor?
Yay.
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 5 yeas, 0 nays. Welcome back. Thank you, guys.
All right, new business number 3, high content ABO application for Pedro's Harahan LLC, DBA Pedro's Tacos and Tequila Bar, located at 7335 Jefferson Highway, Suite D, for Mr. Ruben Chavez.
Okay, public hearing is now open. Okay, no one's coming to speak forth. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
I'm
looking-
just very excited.
Yeah, looking forward to it, absolutely.
I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Some tacos and some tequila.
So if you guys haven't had a
Easy
chance-
approval.
If you guys haven't had a chance, go, drop back there. I mean, they have cleaned out, I mean, when I was a kid, it was we always
The
called
old
it the old
Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie parking lot.
That's
Right.
Go check it out. I mean, they have really cleaned it up back there. And from what I'm understanding as well, the apartment complex that's back there is under new ownership as well. And I believe they're in the process of cleaning that up as well, too. So, again, just more positive things happening here in the city of Harahan. Thank you and welcome. I'm
And just for
excited.
those who, in case don't know, the old Winn-Dixie, you know where the Dollar General
Dollar General.
is and the Pizza Hut. It's the old Winn-Dixie that's kind of by
All
the
the way in the back.
Colonial
All the
Manor.
way
I
in the
believe
back.
it's the apartments. So,
Chief, we good?
Yeah, we good. Everything. Yeah, we're excited. We're excited.
Yep.
Move to approve.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Wheeler to approve the ABO. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. 5 yeas, 0 nays.
C.
It is approved. Thank you.
Did we say C?
All right, new business number 4,
Yeah, I should have did that.
call for a special meeting on September 2nd, 2020 at 6 p.m. for a budget hearing and waive notice of that meeting.
stop.
All right, public hearing is now open. Okay, no one come to speak forth. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion.
So as previously stated at our last budget hearing, so we originally had brought forth the budget, and as we talked, there was substantial numbers and changes in revenue along with the expenditures, so there was no reason to adopt that budget and then come and have to amend it again. So that is why, for my lack of second, which is fine, the previous budget that was brought forth is now been withdrawn. We have placed a new budget up with amendments. Because there's significant changes, more than 50%, we are calling for another budget hearing, which will be set for September 2nd. I believe that's a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on one second. It's Wednesday, I think. Hold on. At 6 o'clock? It's a Tuesday, I'm so sorry. It's Wednesday, excuse me, Tuesday, September 2nd at 6 o'clock. It will be a budget hearing. As Todd Turnion mentioned, the new proposed budget would be available for those who want to obtain copies. Madam Clerk, are you putting the new amended budget on the website too?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if it'll go up tomorrow since our meeting's today, but it'll be up there.
Yeah,
She'll-
I can
oh, there you go, she'll put it up there tomorrow.
Yep.
If anybody would like to obtain hard copies, they're more than welcome to come obtain those from the city. So there would be a budget hearing set for Tuesday, September 2nd at 6 PM. And it's only to discuss the budget. We're not adopting anything, it's just to discuss the budget.
Okay, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, 5 yeas, 0
Notice
nays.
is- wait a minute. No, you don't need notice. Did I say Tuesday the 2nd?
Yeah.
I
think it's
just want to
Wednesday.
confirm,
That's
it
what
is
says.
Wednesday, September 2nd. I am so
break.
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, advertising.
I'm so sorry. Just want to confirm again, everybody, I apologize.
Trying to hide the ball.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I'll get beat up for that.
Is it on Wednesday?
It is Wednesday, September 2nd at 6 PM.
Yeah. Because now you're gonna stand at the door Tuesday.
Again, Wednesday, September 2nd at 6 PM.
Okay, new business number 5. Strategic Planning Committee nominations and appointments.
Okay, so what we've done here, we've met with the council and some other administrators here, and we decided to try to put a council together of local business owners to maybe, as a support team for one another, as well as for us to give them some support and make sure that we stay viable and strong in the community. I mean, we've done well through COVID by sticking together as a team. We've had a couple of socially distanced meetings with them, and it was incredibly positive, and we helped, our local business here stay afloat, and it was great. And there is an unsung hero behind this. He doesn't really like to be put out in public, so I won't. But we worked very hard, and so we decided to put this strategic planning committee together. And so, your nominations, we'll run through them.
Yeah, I want to, I'm sorry. You
That's
start
okay.
now.
Councilman Johnson?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Paul Jouet.
All right, Paul Jouet.
Like it.
Councilman Buddy?
Brian Ilg.
Okay. Brian Ilg. Councilman Chatterling?
Chuck Ferrera.
Chuck Ferrera. I'm gonna nominate Hortensia Macaluso from Oak Oven. Councilman Wheeler, Hortensia Macaluso?
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to nominate Nate LaPree.
Councilman Wheeler nominates Nate LaPree, and Councilman Asbell.
I'm going to nominate Danny McCarron.
Thank you, Councilman Asbell.
This was also recommended by the Louisiana Economic.
Yeah, so,
Develop.
I want to
Yeah,
say.
oh, go ahead, that's right, perfect, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Please
so
elaborate.
we formed this committee out of the advice of the Louisiana Economic Development. They're gonna come down and facilitate the committee and give us some recommendations on how we can improve our economic climate and invite more businesses in. And a lot of these people are not only Harahan residents, but Harahan developers or Harahan business owners. And we put out a call to the community, and it was overwhelming, the amount of names that people wanted to get involved. And unfortunately, we can't just involve everybody. So we had to pare it down a little bit. And we appreciate everybody's service and everybody's willing to get involved. And yeah, so I move that we accept all the nominations here tonight.
Second.
Now, we still have
Two council members.
Senator-
too.
Oh, yeah, let's accept these.
Talbert.
Right, and so, in addition to these, it'll include Jefferson Parish Councilman Dino Bonanno, Senator Kirk Talbot, Representative Brian Ill, and then also 2 of the council
John
members.
Hill.
John
Y'all
Hill.
gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, I know, dude.
You know, I like Brian a lot more, I guess. Big, the big guy.
You got Rep. John Ilgs, Talbot, Dino Bonanno, and who was the other? I'm sorry, I missed one.
That's it.
Kirk, yeah.
And then Kurt, yeah.
I got it.
So the 3 of them, and then the 6 of these, that's 9, and then there'll be 2 council
council
members that would be appointed amongst the council and the mayor.
So I move to accept these 6 nominees.
Second.
We have a motion to accept the 6 nominees by Councilman Asbell, second by Councilman
Johnson.
Johnson. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Nominees are accepted. Thank you guys for wanting to be a part of the team and help us develop business here.
Address the council.
I nominate, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
We got 2 council nominees. I nominate Councilman Eric Chatelain to be on the committee.
Second.
Okay, we have nominated Councilman Eric Chatelain for being on the board. I have a second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Congratulations, Councilman Chatelain. You have
I'm gonna
another
abstain
job.
from the vote.
4.
Oh, you have 4? 4 yeas, 1 abstention. Okay. Do y'all want to nominate the other councilman? We are choosing?
like to make a motion to nominate Councilman Jason Asbill.
And I second that.
Okay, second by Councilman, nomination by Councilman Wheeler, second by Councilman Buddy for Jason Asbill. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
Five
Abstain.
yeas, 0 nays.
Abstain.
I'm sorry,
Four.
4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
y'all.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you. More on my plate.
I know. Yeah, these councilmen work with me. Look, I'm gonna tell them all the time, hey, look, you got elected just like me. So we go work, and they do, and I just, every day, I'm so proud of them. I'm so lucky and blessed to be on this team.
Address the council.
Okay.
My time, hold on.
All right, anyone who'd like to address the council, please state your name and address at the podium. Ms. Majine, before you start, I heard that you wasn't well lately, a while back, and I just wanted, are you doing better? Are you okay?
Yeah,
Well, good,
I
thank
was
you.
in the hospital for a few days,
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
but I'm doing all right now.
Well, you look amazing, by the way. Thank you very much.
Can you, when y'all speak, can you please take the mask off? You sound jumbled.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We're glad
The
to,
only one you can really understand is the mask.
we
I
are,
was-
we
I
are
was
glad
with
to
my
see
mask
you
on the
back
whole
at that
time.
podium.
Okay, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
ma'am.
We're glad to see you back at that podium.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be here every month as long.
I sure
long
hope
as I've
so.
got-
I sure hope so.
Yes, ma'am.
Preach on, Ron.
I've been living in Harahan my whole life. And I
What is that,
speak
20
mostly
years,
every
30
month.
years?
What?
About 20 years, 30 years?
Your whole life?
Can I say 86?
Holy, well, congratulations on that.
I'm probably one of the fewest people living in Harahan that's been here my whole life.
Wow.
There's a few left, maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, plenty of us been here our whole life. We're just not as old as you. I mean, I've been here my whole life. My kids been here. We got a ways to go to catch it.
Right, right. I'm back here, May Cazenave, 46 Oak Avenue. In June, I spoke about the problem of not having the full agenda printed in the newspaper. Instead, it said I needed to go to the city's website. You all know I don't have a computer and I don't want one. Well, I am back again to ask, why isn't the entire agenda printed in the newspaper? You already have a habit of amending the agenda at the meeting, which makes it very hard for people who don't come to the meeting to know what's going on in the city. Please print the entire agenda in the newspaper so that we know what's coming up at the meeting. A lot of people are going to be surprised what you heard tonight, that y'all address some of the things that's coming up.
Yes, ma'am.
Was not in the newspaper. Wait till the people find out about what's coming up.
Okay.
Miss Majine, it's 46 Oak, is that right?
Yep.
46 Oak. Okay.
Want to
It,
track me down?
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Well, I do, but, and I'm going to tell you, the city is not required to post the entire agenda in the newspaper. In fact, it would be cost prohibitive to do that. But I'm going to bring you agenda every day, every month after it's published. I'm going to bring it to you. And if you have any friends that need an agenda, call me and let me know. I'll bring them one too.
Every other city that prints it all in the newspaper. I'll get the newspaper and I'll read everything. The whole minutes are in there.
That-
When people speak, y'all don't ever tell the people, you just print the name.
That's
You never
right.
say what they said.
But they're not required to.
Well,
And it would cost too much money to do that for this little bitty,
why don't
town.
y'all just forget
We'd have to raise another millage to publish everything in there. But I will get you an agenda, Ms. Majine, every month.
Okay, anyone else like to
I'm gonna
address?
hold them to it.
504-231-9761, if anybody else needs one as well.
Okay. All right, anyone else like to address the,
That's good.
Eddie Gregory, 366 East Avenue. Look, I always believe in leaving a meeting on a positive note, okay? So I would like to tell you, this is kind of not positive to start with. My wife got in an accident last month on Colonial and Jefferson Highway. And HPD was there immediately. It was really nice that the chief was there. They knew our name. That's why we live in Harahan, I want to leave that. So thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Glad she's okay.
Oh, she's okay.
Yeah.
Wait, Joanne, when I saw the picture, you had just posted how you shined it all up. Y'all must have just waxed it or whatever. You said, "Oh, my beautiful rod," and then I saw you at the corner. I think you had just detailed it out or something. Oh, well, I'm glad you're okay, honey. Look, materials can be replaced, that's for
right.
sure.
You can't kill baby grass.
Happily married.
Okay, anyone else like to address the council?
You need some help with that?
Yeah. You better be careful, we're gonna follow him home, huh? Yeah. All right, no one else coming to address the council? We have a motion to close address the council?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman
Motion.
Johnson, second by Councilman Wheeler. Address the council is now closed. Madam Clerk?
Secretary's report for July, total revenue, $887,065. And
I just wanna-
reports?
I'm sorry,
Oh, I'm
just real
sorry.
quick. I just want to point out, before we get to adjourn, it's the second month in a row that our revenues are more than our expenditures. And I think that's a great job. And I didn't, I thought maybe Miss Judy would come up and point it out, but I wanted to make sure it got pointed out because she did. All right, thank you.
Yeah, she only does it if it's the opposite.
All right, reports?
Councilman Johnson, you wanna go first?
No report.
Councilman Bodie? I'm sorry.
Oh, gee.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Chief Walker, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sure.
I was ready trying to go get me, I'm thinking about them margaritas.
It's not open yet, Tim.
It's not open.
Sure they stocked the bar.
Okay.
No, right.
Stats for July 2020, Harahan Police Department. We had 972 calls for service, 11 auto accidents. There's 195 citations issued for 263 violations. We had non-patrol requests. Arrests for narcotics were 14. The charges were 15 total. There were 3 felony, 3 misdemeanor, and non-city. Other arrests were 35 for 59 different charges, 4 felony, 41 misdemeanors, 10 city and 4 traffic. Person and property crimes, murders none, rapes none, strong arm robberies, they changed the classification with Uniform Crime Report. One of them was actually an aggravated burglary, but it was a domestic, and both those cases, arrests were made. No residential burglaries, no non-residential burglaries, no attempted burglaries, no motor vehicle thefts, no attempted motor vehicle thefts, 4 larceny thefts, and 10 assaults for the month. Thank you. Good night.
Okay, Chief St. Cyr?
Yes, thank you.
Mayor, council, citizens of Harahan, Todd St. Cyr, Fire Chief for the city of Harahan. Thank you, I appreciate you letting me address you tonight. If you've noticed on Hickory Street over the last month, maybe 5 weeks, there's been fire trucks parked on the side of the road all over the place. We're out updating our pre-plans. We have a new system that we were fortunate enough to be able to get called emergency reporting. We've gotten an end-of-life notice for our old system, Firehouse software. So we were forced to go in and build from the ground up, and so we're redoing everything, and we've been working real hard to get that done. So we're meeting with all the businesses. I'd like to say thank you to the business owners on Hickory for inviting us in and letting us make a pre-plan that will make our response to them even better. The more that we know about a structure before we get there, the more that we can prepare for that and do tabletops and sit around and just brainstorm, the better we are. We have technology today that can alert us of those things en route or as soon as a dispatch happens, so that we can start looking and seeing what it is that they have inside the structure, if there's chemicals or certain concerns, or even if it's just a contact number that we can call at 3 o'clock in the morning if something happens and we don't have to bust down the door, we can wait 10 minutes for an occupant to arrive. So we really appreciate that. In the next few weeks, we'll be finished. We're almost finished Hickory now, but we do have some cleanup work to do, some people we weren't able to make initial contact with, so we're gonna go back to those locations. So in a few weeks, we're gonna start Jefferson Highway, and then we'll be finished. at last month's or 2 months ago council meeting, I mentioned that we have a special needs list that we are obtaining. I'd like to offer that again to the citizens. If you want to call, at this point, we don't have it online yet. We hope to add it into our city's website soon. But if you want to call 737-9957, we can come out to your house if you have a special needs person, so that we can actually pre-plan your residence, so that we have as much information as we may need if we need to come to your residence and you have someone that's incapacitated and/or just has special needs, oxygen, things like that we need to know about that we can help in the time of a storm. It may be helpful as well to know that, you may be there if we can stop and pay you a visit and make sure everything's okay. Speaking of storms, there are 2 storms out there right now that look like they have the potential to get into the Gulf, and right now it kind of has it splitting the state of Louisiana, but it's way too early to tell. So I would ask all citizens to kind of pay attention in the next few days to see what's going on. I can tell you that the fire department, police department, and the city of Harahan are prepared. We have done our due diligence before the storm season and continue to prepare on a daily basis to respond and be on standby to do as much as we can in response to any situation like that. So we'll be out after the storm. If something does happen, we'll be out checking with people, door to door, street to street, to make sure, if you see us and you have a need, please feel free to stop us and tell us. If you have needs, if we don't have power, such as, you do have an elderly person or someone that needs help. Remember, after Katrina, ambulances stopped running in Harahan and all of Jefferson Parish. Well, the fire department took over that responsibility as much as our insurance company wouldn't have liked it, but somebody had to do it. So we did take over that, and we probably had 30 individuals a day that we would check on and take blood pressures. We were actually doing transports to the hospital. That's what the insurance company wouldn't have liked. We do medical first responder stuff. We're able to do EMR work, emergency first responder stuff. However, transport is a no-no. However, we are not going to allow you to just sit in your house without anyone to bring you to the hospital. We will take you if you need to go. So we'll be out there doing as much as we can. I know the police department is prepared. I've spoken with the chief many a times. We've had many meetings with the mayor and many council members and all of the city staff, and we're ready. So,
Chief, can
yes.
we iterate to the citizens, if they call and set up for the emergency special needs?
Correct.
When you're en route to their call,
Yes.
radio dispatches and tells you, hey, this is such and such address, they
Okay.
have diabetic.
It's
they
not going to
have-
come over radio dispatch. What we have set up through CAD system, which is computer-aided dispatch.
But it does let you know prior to arriving to the
It
scene.
does let us know prior to arrival that we have a pre-plan on that structure, and once we open that pre-plan, we're able, that's a new technology. We've done this in years past, but
very
it's all been
important.
on a piece of paper. So for every call to every residence, we'd have to pull this list and say, okay, is this, nope, they're not on it, and move on. Now, it basically, there's an app on the phone, on the iPads, on the computers that says, there's a special needs person here, or there's a pre-plan for this, and we open it and read
It'll
it.
explain the pre-plan.
It'll tell us exactly what we're dealing with. And I encourage people to utilize this. This is something that most fire departments cannot offer their community because there'd just be too much of it. It's a benefit of being a smaller community. The same benefit that we had after Katrina, where we were able to do the medical needs as a fire department, that wasn't being done by any other fire department in this parish.
But it helps them prepare themselves for their safety, your safety. If you have a race car in your garage, you have 20 gallons of racing fuel in the back.
I'd
They
love to
want to
know
have
about
that
it.
in their pre-plan before they arrive to your house and go spraying that
I'd
fuel.
love to know about it. I'm not
Yeah.
going to tell you not to store it. I'm not there to be an
It's
inspector.
recreation.
I'm not there to be someone to tell you, hey, this is improper.
It'll save
That's
them
not-
and your equipment.
That's not our thing, but I'd love to know about it. That way I can protect both your home and your neighbor's home.
And then when
Because
we want to go out and race.
if we
can
don't
stop
know
and
about
get
it,
more.
it's going to be there,
Right.
okay? And even if I tell them to move it on a residential house, it's gonna still be there. However, the more that we know, the more that we can do to help protect the surrounding area.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Councilman Buddy? Councilman Chatelain?
Guys, I just want to let y'all know I'm proud to be representing Harahan. I think Harahan's moving forward in a positive way. If there's anything we could do to help, don't hesitate to call. Got my first call last week on Halsey about flooding. So we're going to address that issue. I did a little drive-by, and I don't think it's necessarily flooding. I think it's just some puddling of water on the side of the road that we might need to do a little cleaning and address, but we are going to address that. If y'all have any issues like that, let us know. I have no reason to go down Halsey, so I don't know that street has a problem. So if you don't let us know we have a problem, I'm not going to know. I drive the streets a lot. If it's raining, I'm not necessarily driving down that street. But if y'all let us know about your problems, we'll do our best to address them. Thank you.
Councilman Wheeler?
Just real quick, I want to reiterate again, I just got a message. The budget meeting is Wednesday, September 2nd at 6 o'clock. Just to make sure there was no misunderstanding. Is it better now? I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
I must have hit it off. I'll do it again. So I got a message, just to confirm, I will state again, that the budget hearing, there would be no adoption of the budget and the amendments, just to discuss the budget hearing is set for Wednesday, September 2nd at 6 o'clock.
But you'll be here on.
I'll be here Tuesday for the, now see, you confused them more, Todd. Wednesday, September 2nd at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Councilman Asbell?
I just want to say, yeah, the budget hearing is Wednesday, September 2nd. No, we've gotten a lot of
Can you take your
emails.
mask off?
Oh, sure.
Thank
I
you.
can do that. We've gotten a lot of emails over the past couple months regarding some regulatory issues and code enforcement type stuff within the city. And we see all of those and we appreciate those. And I also see them on Facebook and things like that. We are working right now with the mayor to kind of revitalize that department within the city to make sure that we are handling things. And we appreciate those who are notifying us. But I want to remind you that there are only 3 official channels to notify us about regulatory complaints. And those are the city's website through the report of concern option, calling City Hall, and emailing somebody, whether it be regulatory, the mayor, or your council members, emailing us and letting us know. We can get that on the docket. If it's on Facebook, we can't track it and see how it's going. Email us, make an official complaint or something like that. We can track it and make sure it's getting handled the way it needs to be handled. Thank you.
Mayor, can I?
No, kids are back in school. Be safe.
Yes.
I got a few complaints recently about the smell again.
Yes, me too.
I'm not smelling it. I'm just being honest with y'all. But I'm just preparing. We are going to have this coming up. I mean,
Yep.
we need to address it
Well,
with the parish.
just so you know,
It's out of our control.
Senator Talbot and State Representative Ilg all working on it. We're there. We started that program last year, right? Trying to get that equipment in. Well, ultimately, the equipment was doled out, but they chose to not bridge it in Harahan. It actually went to the West Bank. But so there's a little bit of frustration there, but we are back on it, and we got the state representative and the state senator paying attention very sharply because they live here as well, and so we are back on it. It's just sometimes it is what it is, I guess, but we're working hard at it.
Excuse me, Councilman Chatelain. You can't smell the smell.
I don't smell it.
When's the last time you had a COVID test?
Wait, hold on. Let me get my mask back on. Lord.
I've taken 5.
So we get the smell near Imperial Woods and Riverside occasionally. Thank you. We get the odor near Riverside and Imperial Woods occasionally, but from following the comments on the Facebook sites and next door, it really seems for some reason that the border of Harahan and River Ridge seem to get the worst of it. And I know there's been a lot of contact with DEQ over the last, year and a half?
Yes, sir.
I know Todd spent months rodding the streets at night, both sides of the river. It's very frustrating for everybody to endure this. It's the Department of Environmental Quality, it's the state of Louisiana, and they haven't been able to finger it, except I think they believe it's the dump. I'm speaking, it's an assumption on my part. I think they think it's the Jefferson Parish garbage dump, And there have been a lot of improvements made at the garbage dump, so that may explain why the odor diminished for some period of time. But, I mean, everybody's frustrated by it. Nobody's been able to isolate the cause or causes. It's probably more than one location or one activity that's causing these problems.
And just to let you know, we are in the process of redoing that piece of OK Avenue. I think the levee's got us stopped. I just don't understand. The river's down. We need to find out why they have us stopped on a piece of OK and a piece of Pecan, which is really, really bad. I just don't know why they stopping us.
We're just we're in the process now of just waiting to accept the permitting, to accept all of it. They wanted a plan. We had to draw out a kind of a plan of what we were doing, so we've drawn out that plan, and we got it to them last week.
We're
So we
patching a hole
look,
6 inches
dude,
deep.
It's the Corps engineers.
I'm confused.
All right, me too, but, I mean, that's what they requested, and we just got that request not that long ago, so we actually drew it out and submitted it. I mean, we're trying to move forward, but, I mean, the Corps has the power to shut us down if we do it without permission.
Thank you.
Got it. Okay, so real fast, no, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Miss Olga Galpin. She recently passed away. She was 97 years old. Her mother's name was Alice Sherrill. Her mom moved to Harahan in 1928 on a corner of 6th and Oak, and Miss Galpin lived on the corner of Sedgefield and Jefferson Highway. So just, you know, that the family still, most of the family still lives here in Harahan, and if you guys don't mind, we'll take a moment of silence for our family out of respect. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much for that.
Mayor, you skipped Councilman Johnson.
No.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't check it.
He got me before Chief got up. Yeah.
And the
Thanks-
only thing
thank you-
I'd just
thanks
like
for
to
looking
close
out.
with, I'd just like to close with, you know, every challenge we face is another opportunity, and small cities can do big things, and we're working very hard to get us there. And we thank you guys' support, and again, thank you to my staff and my council. They work very hard. So thank you very much. Good night.
Move to adjourn.
Hold up,
Pay
hold
bills,
up,
adjourn.
hold up,
Slow down.
hold up.
Bills paid in July, $713,798.61. No executive session, and adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Councilman
Second.
Johnson, second by Councilman Wheeler to adjourn. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. We are adjourned.